Hello and welcome to episode 49 of our Timberborn Update 7 Iron Teeth Project 1K playthrough, cycle 84, day 15. Got about 11 days, closer to 10 and a half, left in our current drought cycle. And we're at a point in the playthrough now where everything is just coming really slowly. And we've got a lot of small problems to solve. So we're going to focus on doing a couple of those today. A little bit of a shorter episode, but I do not have 5 hours to sit here and time-lapse a whole bunch of stuff. That's just the reality we're at. So I'll do my best with the time I do have and try to get something interesting for you guys here. We do have wind tunnels here that we placed last episode. And we do have exercise plaza here and here with the help of some monuments as well. And we've gotten a pretty good handle on food production, although technically it's not complete. We are producing everything, though. And we can always use some more berries. That's something we're going to have to deal with at some point, plant some more. We might as well just, rip the Band-Aid off now. I use that phrase a whole lot, don't I? And just plant all of this as blueberries. We're going to need it. We're going to need so many blueberries. It's just an unbelievable quantity of blueberries. But we're going to need them because we're going to have to put a whole bunch more of these advanced breeding pods in so we can get up to 1,000 beavers. We are slowly climbing, but we're still going to need more. Continuing our way up here, we did make a pit stop on the mangrove level last time and started unplanting some of our, let me click, come on, there we go, cassavas here so we could expand our mangrove production. And you guys rightfully pointed out that I actually need to be putting in not dirt, but levees in some of these locations for irrigation purposes. So that is what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to sit here and wait for the entire rest of this episode for these cassavas to get harvested. I'm just going to have them come in here and remove those so that we can get on with our lives, because we all have other things we need to be doing besides waiting for these to get picked. So what's going to happen is the corner pieces and then some in the middle here are going to get turned into regular levees so we can, have all of our irrigation going out. And then we will see what else ends up happening, but we absolutely need to make progress on this. So there and there will be a good one in the middle. Here will be a good one here. Here will be a good one here. And I'll just try to follow a similar kind of thing on either side of these middle posts here. It's just one of those things that you already know. It's going to take time. So we'll come back and check on this at some point. Just want to let you guys know we are working on it. And this area up here is going to end up having more stuff planted as different things get removed. If we go all the way up to, I guess this level's fine here. We did start putting in impermeable floors to kind of separate the reservoir vertically into two halves. And the reason we're doing that, again, is because we were having problems getting enough water in through the pumps. Flow-wise, we should be fine, but it takes so long for the bottom of the reservoir to fill up that we can't start pumping for the first portion of the temperate cycle, and we just have to be able to take advantage of that as much as we can. So, like I said, we have these up here. My goal is to have the entire thing completely separated and reroute the entrance. I'm not going to, redo this tunnel here, but reroute the entrance to actually come up in maybe through one of these, take out something like this. I need it to, start right around here and fill this up first, and then at some point it overflows to go down through here into the bottom. We just have to have more water coming up. So I think the easiest way for us to accomplish that is going to be to keep this as a tube. Remember that water does not care like what the flow is for whatever until it has to fall somewhere, which is what we had been doing here with our multiple edges. 1, 2, 3, 4 edges, technically. You want to take a closer look at that. So we can actually keep this in the pipe and just have it go straight up this corner, probably the easiest thing to do, which will bring it, I believe, right in the middle of this. Which you might be saying, well, that's kind of weird, because how are you going to make that happen with all of the irrigation stuff that you've put in? I don't know the answer to that question, and at this point I can't wait any longer to try and figure it out, or this is never going to get finished. So we're going to probably just have to kind of brute force it by coming around here and then dumping into this. Remember that this goes up 2 blocks for the minimum irrigation, preservation, whatever, for not evaporating. I'm very tired. I'm trying my best, folks. But if we just dump it into here first, then it will overflow, and then once this is all filled in, it will fill this area first, and then after a certain point, we can have an overflow from the overflow to fill the bottom, so that it can always have water first up here where the straws for the pumps go. And that, again, that's why we're like this. It's 6 blocks long. These right here are 6 blocks. Not, come on, let me click on this. That is 6 blocks down from the pumps. So that's the maximum depth. So what we're going to need to do, easiest way to do this, is just to pop in more of these, get these levels as good as we can. You know what I can actually do here? So I can just do one of those numbers. That's going to be a whole lot easier. Get those middle bits taken care of. Come on, irrigation barriers. That's the wrong one. Impermeable floors. That goes there. That goes there. These corner pieces do not need it because that is just regular land. And which actually, that could be our ticket, folks. That could be our ticket to irrigating the lower section. So it's going to come in from this side. So if I were to just blast this out, all we'd have to do, take a look at what's on top of this. Yeah, that's just a walking platform. If I got rid of this right here, and then all I had to do here was also, I know we're going to end up deleting a couple of buildings. Actually, maybe not, depending on how we want to do this. If all I have to do is just pop that in like so, that's going to create at least a 1 tall amount of water. And if it doesn't work great, we can just stack more stuff on top of it. Not a big deal. That's going to create a 1 tall at all times. That is going to... Come on. Are we just not letting me click now? I know this thing is like Cycle 84 in absolute just nightmare mode. But I'm going to need you to pull it together, game. Again, just going to take care of that. Blocking 1 level down is all we're going to have to do. And then I just need to get this taken care of here. I think this should work okay. Yeah, and then this just has to get filled in with the impermeable floors. That can get blasted out. And then I just have this bit here to take care of. I believe that is also good to go. Just check and see. Now, this is where I was going to have this come up, so let's leave this one out. I'm going to pause this so I can actually, zoom in and not want to, get super angry because of noises. Yeah, see, this is just going to have to get rerouted to go up here. We don't need these stairs, actually. Well, we might, but for us to get up this way, we're going to have this just come straight up here, which is going to require, again, removing a couple of stacks of things. And that's going to take that pump out. We've established that. And this side here should be okay. Depending on how I want to do this, I should just come straight up this way. That's going to have to go out. That's going to remove that. I know we've been through that. This shouldn't remove anything else. But now, let's just take a second here to think. If that's going to come out this way, I can actually have this come out to... Because that needs to go up to this right here. So that would require that I also have this removed. Oh, this, I can't see anything doing that. Take this out. And then from there, and I know this is going to be like the ugliest possible solution to this, but we are trying our best. and that's what matters. I only need that to be 1 block tall. I do need this to have impermeable floor on the bottom, so it will be, well, impermeable. Then this is going to have all the way up to this level, more or less, this level in here, and because this is basically just where the straws go, it's not going to be that big of a deal to have the other stuff in that way. So if this comes up to this level here, then that just has to go across here. That also has to be separated, which means this has to go like this. Yes, shave and haircut. That should... Oh, come on. That should be good there. Doing it this way so I have minimal volume disruption. I just need to have that on that side. Alright, so this levee doesn't actually need to be here. I do need to have one here, which means I've got to take this out. It's going to remove that pump as well. We'll get this all figured out. I know you're probably looking at this thinking, what in the world are you doing? It's going to work. It's going to be just fine. So, when this spills through here, remember I want it to go into this first, and then this overflows. So this is always going to be full. It's going to have 1 edge, 2 edge, and then the rest will just kind of, you know, go out this way. It should be enough. But just in case it isn't, I can take this out. I think we've already removed what was on top of that. Yep. And then all I've got to do, just to make sure this tracks correctly, let's actually give this a double. Yeah, there we go. Get that there. And then 1, 2, 3 edges. No problems. And then this just has to have a cap on it. And that can be easily accomplished by us just doing one of these. That's the wrong height. I should have done 2 3s. It's very hard to judge distance looking down into a hole. That's going to go here. That is... How is that still wrong? Wait, no, it's not. There we go. It's about to completely lose it. All right. I don't think this is going to be that big of an issue. I just want it to be a little bit cleaner. All right, so that, if I've done this correctly, minus this one side, which I know we have not done, if I've done this correctly, then we should be in decent shape. This will have to go here. The staircase is no longer necessary. This should be fine. Then this goes all the way up to the bottom of the land, which that does. We may have an issue building this, just depending on how they want to come in here and actually get stuff done. But that should get us to where this will now come in through here, and then once this is completely full, overflow into here, and then once this entire thing is full, then it overflows here, which is the very bottom of the map. Well, the very bottom of this, which is our secondary stage reservoir, blah, blah, blah. And then all of this. So, I know this is a really, really complicated, and you're like, oh, what the heck is wrong with you? What are you thinking? Look, it makes sense in my head, which may or may not be an indictment on my sanity. Oh, these guys can actually still get in here. Good. So, this is the point where I just have to time-lapse this and kind of follow construction while I'm not also having to narrate what's going on, correct things as they go wrong, and then just see what we can see. Because I really want this to be done before we have our next temperate cycle in what is currently 9.3 days away. But you're seeing this go tremendously, tremendously faster in time-lapse. And hopefully, by the time it's finished, I will have good news to report that this insane design actually worked. You'll have to see after the break. Alright, Cycle 85 is here, and folks, I think we've just about beat the buzzer here. If we scroll all the way back down, you can see that... Oh, they're missing. They're missing 3 of these. Oh, that's a huge shame. Well, guess what? There's still time. There's still time for us to make this happen. I just have to get them to build this stuff. Oh boy, I love it when we come right up against the 8 ball here. But... Oh, man, I gotta pause this again so I can just think. So, water comes through here. enters this area, then goes up, and yes, we do have to have stuff on top of this. I know. I know. Your patience will be rewarded. So they'll just have to take care of that, and I'll show you exactly what happens when they take care of everything. But we did have a little bit of deconstruction we had to do here with 3 of these deep water pumps. Those will be put back in at the proper time. But as you can see here, one, we're very low on water, which is why this was really important for us to try and figure something out. Because the beaver number is only going up, and the water number had only been going down. That is one of the numbers you want to always go up. But here, we've got every tile, as far as I can tell. We're going to find out. Every tile that needs to be completely sealed off is sealed off. This has remained unchanged here. But I think we're going to be in good shape. We do have the water still coming out this way, I know, because we didn't have the time to finish it. But while we're waiting on that, we can come over here and take care of some of the rest of this stuff, which I know the wood is currently a little bit more of a crisis for that area than it is down here. But we can make sure that we put in enough terrain blocks where they are supposed to go to take care of everything else that we've got going on. Again, I'm going to have just the outside here. I guess these 3, which this one of the corners is just going to be crops again. All sorts of things. All sorts of things to take care of. And yes, I know. It's not what you not what you signed up for with all the just figuring everything out that I've been having to do here. But I promise you, those folks who've submitted all of those amazing colony builds we've taken a look at, they struggled, well, maybe not quite as much, but they've struggled quite a bit, I am sure, in making their masterpieces. The difference between them and me is I'm dumb enough to put it all on the internet, completely unedited, save for time lapses, so I get to demonstrate just how much of an idiot I am in real time, and they get to, if they do make mistakes, it's very possible that they don't, but they get to hide it behind whatever they choose to hide it behind. And that's fine. You know, there's all sorts of valid reasons for wanting to showcase or not showcase your personal mistakes. Definitely respect that. But my brand at this point has, for better or for worse, become one of, hey, come look at this crazy thing that I made that may or may not actually be good. And I think a lot of you guys do appreciate the authenticity with all of those things. It just ends up making me look stupid sometimes, which, hey, would not be the first time. Definitely would not be the last either. So I hope you can appreciate what I've got going on there. I'm not entirely sure what I was thinking doing all of this. But it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna get it figured out. I have to have something going on so we can actually get things finished. All right. How are we doing on this? Did we get that in? Not quite. Too far from a district. What do you mean it's too far from a district? There's a thing right here. Oh, did I disconnect? Oh, it's because I didn't have the thing on top of the. All right. No, it says it's still too far from a district. What? Oh, that's because... Alright. That's because this ladder has not been finished, because we need logs, and somebody had the bright idea to have logs go absolutely everywhere. Alright, so, you know, it would not be the first or the second or the third or the 50th time this series that I have not managed to do what I want to do because I just did not plan things out correctly, so... I don't know. If you're still watching at this point in episode 49, then I have to assume that you're okay with just stupidity not being cut out. It is what it is. Look, folks, I'm just real tired. I've been trying to do way too much the past couple weeks, and I unfortunately cannot wait for this series, or this series cannot wait, because if I keep postponing episodes of this, it's going to be February before we're done, and I've got to get through this. I also, since we're here looking at this, did not even think about it for a second last episode when I Deleted the hydroponic gardens that were making algae and rebuilt them instead of just changing the recipe. Look, I responded to somebody's comment. I think that week I'd done 70 hours across all of my different jobs and projects and stuff I'm working on. Like, I understand that I have placed myself in a very, very, very bad position to try and adequately do everything that I'm trying to do. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it when I get through all this other stuff. But just so you're aware, that's why that happened. No, it is not good. No, I do not need to be doing this to myself. But at the same time, yes, I do. I got some cool stuff I'm working on that is very, very, very exciting, but it does take a lot of time. And it's hard to do previously we're doing 4 Timberborn series at once with the live streams and all these other things that just, it's a lot. But it's fun. All right, how are we doing? How are we doing down here? Did we finally get the rest of this done? Did they put this ladder in place? Did I even give them enough? I did. Okay. Okay, so they're actually going to be able to get this taken care of. Good. We just... I wish I would have had this finished before now. Okay, I can't have this go on 30 times speed during the day. But hopefully... Okay, now you can see this. Now you can see this. You see what I'm getting at here with this whole design? Is it all comes up through the pipe, and then it fills this thing first. Why is that now? Why is that going down? Why is that going down? That should not be going down. Ah, that one's not finished. Okay. All right, well, you know, I was real excited to show you guys how cool this idea was because I figured out it was actually going to work, and then it didn't do that, so... Is what it is. You live and you learn. Sometimes you live and you don't learn. Most of the time, that's me. Alright, so... Well, you know how it goes. I don't cut this stuff out, so I just get to look dumb, and you guys get to call me out rightfully for being dumb. Oh, boy. Let's see, they can get in... Oh, okay. They can't access basically any of this. So I suppose I should just... Yeah, I'm just going to have to give them access this way for them to actually build everything else. Once again, we cannot wait. We cannot wait. We have to get all of this taken care of just as fast as possible. Did they manage to finish this nonsense here? Okay, I'm going to count that as yes. Yes, okay, good. So it is surging over the side here. Filling this up. Not going down to the bottom level quite yet. But once this is all full up here, then it will slowly rise. These pumps should be... Oh, it's the middle of the night. That's right. I had that thing turned off because it was distracting during incredibly long, crazy time lapses that I said I was never going to do again, and now I find myself doing again. Yeah, okay, so they're pumping. And the water level's not quite high enough. I'm not zooming in because I don't want to hear the sound of 108 pumps. It's going to make me throw my computer out the window. We should see, in pretty short order, this crest right here. How close can I get? Okay, that's going to have to be good enough. Yeah, this is just going to keep on going higher and higher. It's not going to go super quick because we do have, what, 108 pumps pumping this? It may actually go down for a time. It looks like that might be what it's doing. It's still kind of flowing into these areas here. But all of the pumps are pumping, despite this lower level technically not being all the way full. I know it's real hard to see, but this is not all the way full. It's got about a half a block in height difference. Yeah, this is actually... It's actually pumping faster than this can fill up. I did not think that was going to be possible. In fact, it shouldn't be possible. Do I just not have enough edges? I may not have enough edges. That is, you know, that's not good, but that's a good problem to have. Okay, what's on top of this? Is this a path? No, it is not. Okay. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to add another edge. If I delete this, just that, there we go. Then what I will have to do is place a double, yeah. Place a double, and then on top of that, put an impermeable floor. And they can do all that from above. Then that is going to have a single on top. And then a triple on top of that. And that will get this to where it can actually fill everything up. Yeah, it somehow has managed to kind of outpace the inflow, which is a little terrifying. Not going to lie. But also kind of what we're going for. I just need to make sure it's getting every chance possible to send all of its stuff in. Yeah, and it is rising. Slowly, but it is rising. Good. That's like the major thing that we really needed to get done before I go off and try to fix all these other problems, which, again, I pressed spacebar instead of alt. Good job. At this point in the series, this is going to command like 5 or 6 hours an episode for a full hour episode, and I just cannot do that. Not at this time. But we are making very good progress here. Just need to get these beavers in here to do everything else. I know this is not a super huge priority to delete cassavas, but it is working. Let's just beaver boom this and this. I've got all these other different segments that I'm removing so I can have all of the corners on the other side of these pylons be levees. Yep, just trying my best. This one I did not do that way because I want the corner here to be 2 pieces like that. Like I had kind of done over here. I guess I could knock that corner piece out like I'd done before. So yeah, that's the same kind of deal. That's there. That's there. That's there. That needs to be there. This needs to be here. And then, of course, I am going to have to modify how this goes over. That won't be super hard. I just need them to actually do it. And then we can flood this, which is going to allow us to plant more mangroves, which is kind of the entire point of what we've been doing this entire time to get all of this taken care of. Boy, what a journey this has been. I know this has to move, and I know that this may not actually fit. Oh no, I've got the whole thing cut out. I can actually take it out now. For the purpose of what we are doing, I do need to have a levee here, and then I need to have that there. Doesn't really matter which way it goes, I don't think. And what I can do, bad tide in a couple of days. Yeah, we're only at 12,000 water. That's very concerning. But we got a lot going on right now. What I'm going to do is take this forester. I think I'm going to have to do it here to try and save as much of this as I can. Let's give them one thing here, then give them a ladder, and then, oh, I was already in the right thing. Tiny two-way station right there. So that can be accessed very easily. And probably going to have to do something kind of similar over here if I can figure out a good spot for it. I'm not afraid of taking away from the cassava, but I do need to just completely redo the majority of this. This is good, though. This is going to allow us to plant a lot more mangroves. The rest of them are going to have to spread naturally, of course. And we're going to have to relocate where we have all of our gatherer flags. Well, like I said, it's going to be fine. Just have to give them resources and maybe think about it a little bit more. As we come up here, that's obviously still flowing in. This is somehow still outpacing. They haven't built this yet. Okay, they're waiting on planks. I guess I need to make that a priority because it was behind everything else. Yeah, that's just unfortunately kind of the whole deal here. Didn't quite get everything set up perfectly, and we may end up paying for it with the amount of water that we do not have. I don't know. We will see. We will see what happens. Outside of that, though, again, food is looking really solid at 19,000. I did see a couple good comments about stuff we could do in this corner, because I know I did ask you guys about it. I put coffee breweries here, but we don't have to keep these here. What we could easily do is we could take this out and replace it with a centrifuge. Now, this is not food processing, no, but it does fit very nicely here. And we need to have probably, you know, not this right here. For right now, we can just keep the single coffee brewery here. And then maybe think about finding somewhere else to put another one of those and another one of these so this one can go away. But yes, that is what is happening here. I know we still have to redo all of this industrial stuff. Trust me, I am very aware of all the stuff that we have to keep doing in this series. It's a lot. But I'm feeling pretty good, for the most part, about where we are. Berries, obviously, a work in progress. The reservoir thing, a work in progress for sure. But now, let's see, this still... Okay, good. The impermeable floor is not prioritized. I definitely should have done that. But they'll get that in pretty quick, hopefully before the end of the night, so we can have a full day and a half of the full strength of stuff flowing out of here. So that is there, and that has a whole lot more coming off of it, and that's good. That's good. We should see this, hopefully, in pretty short order, get some more water in here. I say as water seems to be only decreasing. Okay, so that's not encouraging. But we'll 30 times through here. Okay, there it goes. So you can get away with doing this at night. You can't do 30 times during the day for an entire cycle. You're going to have random beavers dying because the game can't, you know, do everything that fast. But now I think we are in better. We're not in great shape, but we're in better shape. And it proves that my ridiculous, insane design worked. At least well enough for this to be viable. Does it look great? Absolutely not, but it works. And sometimes that's the most important thing. Alright, so we know that's going to be okay. We got these guys pumping. That's going to take, you know, 8.5 billion years. But we've made some nice progress here on our terrain blocks coming in. We do have dirt. 666 is on the dirt. That's kind of strange. But they are going to have to just, you know, take their sweet time getting the rest of this put in place. And just taking care of all the rest of this. So I am going to time-lapse this, yes, including the start of our bad tide here. But I need these guys to get this done. And then when they're all finished getting the construction and I've moved things around, then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. And then we'll say goodbye for today. I know, again, short episode, but it's what I'm able to do. And I'm committed to making this series as regular as I can and getting through things. Not at the expense of, you know, making it interesting, but just we got to get through this. Got to get through this. I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so I had to time-lapse a whole lot more than I thought I would have had to try and get this finished, quote-unquote. But now we do have this outer ring fully enclosed. Just triple-checking everything here. I honestly should have made this a levee. I do not want to go back and change that now. But this is looking like it's ready to go. I have started the process of getting gatherer flags placed here with a new tiny two-way station. Obviously, it is a process that does, in fact, just take time. And it is, I know, a frustrating journey to follow this. And I already know some people are going to complain about how much I'm apologizing, but I need you to understand I'm not happy with how fast this is going, and I do want to make sure that we can get as much of this done as we can. But this is how these guys are going to get in here. These two probably are going to have some help from the inside, which is why I placed these ladders here. I do not know if, when, where, or how I can stick more of these guys in here, but I'm suspecting it might be possible for me to put some on top of here. Yeah. They can do that. Just put two of those right there. That should help the middle. And anyway, point being, we're about ready to blow this. But I did want to draw your attention to our water, which says we have. It says 10K. It's just shy of 11. It says estimated time of depletion 10 days. We got 11.5 days left, and you might have noticed, depending on how fast I had to make that time-lapse go by, I did shut off half of the hydroponic farms because we ran out of water to pump up here pretty quickly, and I realized, you know what? We don't need to have 40-something of these going. We still haven't built all of the hydroponic gardens for the algae either. Just keep that in mind. We're only about a half of these. But we still have full algae rations as of right now, mostly. So I think we're okay. We are going to have to, you know, maybe slightly reevaluate how stuff is situated here. But I think we're probably okay. Also, construction's been taking a really long time. It's extremely frustrating. I do not know what's happened. But I did have to kind of babysit that a little bit. However, you can see that despite this upper area being dry, which is now the first area to get refilled thanks to this that we've done today, down here we still have 3 entire blocks worth of height in the reservoir to feed this when this gets larger. So now that we have this completely closed in, I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to go to each of these. I'm going to hit B for boom. And we'll make sure that all of these can go at the same time. I probably should have done from the very middle of each segment, but that's fine. I'm going to take these levees out, one piece at a time. And then, before we can do anything else, like, you know, getting back into the time simulation here, I'm going to carefully, and I mean carefully, remove these paths, the ones that we aren't going to need. And then we'll plant our mangroves that we can actually reach. This single forester, because I have not put one over here, and I just don't have the time right now to figure that out. I'm sorry. But I'm going to plant as many as I possibly can in the space that it will actually allow me to plant them, which that is the wrong type of tree. I just need to make sure exactly what I can reach, and then everything else will just have to naturally grow, which is why I'm not going to plant in those spaces. So that's what they can reach. It's on pause. Yes. Beautiful. Absolutely flawless. So now that's going to flood. Everything's exploded, and now I do have a slightly larger area. I wish I could overlay these. Slightly larger area in which to plant. Just want to make absolutely sure I can plant every bit that is possible for me to plant before I leave these guys alone. Yeah, so water coming in here. This up here is a sluice that is programmed. When this gets to 0.75, it will stop releasing water. We do still have enough water to keep this going for another 11-something days. In terms of water consumption, though, that's something else we've got to maybe figure out. I think what's going to make the most sense for us is to just go in, because these all have water in them. Let's just pause the hydroponic gardens, every single one, until the end of this drought, and then we can reevaluate at that point in the next episode when we can dig into that. But it is just, you know, it's a learning curve. And in some cases, the learning curve is a 10-mile tall brick wall in outer space where you cannot breathe. That's this series. But I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to still try to do as much as I can, because that is how we operate here. But these all being paused is going to get us a little bit of water back, yes. But most importantly, it's going to stop them from consuming any. So we'll get this. We should see this maybe go up a tiny bit, but it shouldn't go down any faster. I know the beaver number just keeps going up, which, again, we said was going to happen. That's our goal, so can't be mad about that. That's just where we are. So I am unfortunately well beyond out of time to make this today, but I did not want to just have not another day where I didn't put something out. So when that happens, we're going to have one of these mini episode type of things. We just got to keep things moving as much as I can. I'm going to commit to you that I'm going to do it, because that's always how I've operated, and I would feel bad if I did not. So I appreciate you sticking with this, and I know, but I appreciate you more than you are ever going to understand. You guys make it possible for me to do this, and all the other fun things that I'm doing, and the Beard Boosters make it possible for this channel not to have sponsors, and take care of all sorts of other fun and necessary things for me personally. I'm very, very, very thankful. Again, can't do without your support. But this is where this episode has to end. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. Stay safe, have fun, And I look forward to seeing you again soon, where hopefully we can have a full-length episode actually taking care of things in the proper manner. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.